I make these great looking birdhouses, guys, but no one seems to watch. And I've come to the conclusion that I don't give a rat's ass whether you watch or you don't watch. I'm not the sort of channel that makes the 7 best tools that you can buy on Amazon for under $5 while holding one hand in the air. I don't do that stuff. I make small projects that any woodworker can make. I make from start to finish the old-fashioned way, and I show you exactly how to make them. I don't make things in SketchUp. I don't do that. I make fun woodwork projects. I might be a bit quirky, but that's who I am. So if you want to watch, watch. If you don't want to watch, I'll give a rat's ass. But here is my next video. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Daniel from Woodworking with Dash, and today we're going to make this gothic birdhouse. Have a look at this, guys. It's made of old fence partings, ply and red gum timber from a fence post. It's just it and a bit, guys. So come on a journey, and we're going to make this gothic birdhouse right now. Even Jocko the cocky loves it. Great house, Jocko, isn't it? Haha. A very interesting birdhouse, isn't it, guys? I call it the cathedral birdhouse, with its rustic look, made out of old fence palings. One of the hardest parts about making a birdhouse like this is where to start. I start by making the internal core. Same as the big skyscraper building where they make the elevator shaft and everything hangs off that. I make an internal box and a ply first. And then everything is going to be clad onto that. So we'll start by making the internal structure. Just ripping a strip off the plywood now to make the 2 angled ends. And cutting them on the table saw. So they're very long angle. And just flipping it over now to cut the other side, so they're both the same. There you go, easy as, guys. Putting them together now, I've cut 2 ends. And I've glue and pins. That's all I do. Glue and pin it together, and that will do it. I use Type-On free glue, and it works really well. There you go, we got our structure already done. There's 4 bits of ply. This is the cathedral ends and 2 dividers. I haven't cut any holes in them yet, I haven't done anything. I've got no idea how I'm going to do it yet. But whatever happens now, everything is going to be added on to the bones. It just grows out from the bones. The bones hold it all together. 4 bits of ply, guys. Alright, and the measurements are 570 high, 270 long, and 200 wide. That's what I made my bones out of. I call them bones. I feel like a witch doctor. Checking the bones. No, that's all right. Okay, all right. Now, what do we do? We've got to make some decisions now. Some decisions have to be made. I'm going to have a big cathedral window on each side of this. I'm getting all confused. Don't know about you, but I'm getting all confused. I'm going to have a slanted nesting box on each side, 1, 2, 3, 4, going into the guts of the bones. And I'm going to have 2 cathedral end nesting boxes on top. All right, just cutting the angle now on the shelf that goes in the centre to hold the cathedral windows. And drilling the cathedral windows out of a bit of 4x2 pine. You'll see how these go together in a minute. And cutting out the cathedral part of it. All done. And drilling the holes in the rest of the box. There's what a 70mm bit in there, I think. Easy, you might blow it out. I've got some of the holes cut out, and I've got the 4x2s cut at an angle and fix to this bottom shelf that just slides in there. And I'll fix that down now too. And I've also put a division in the centre here to divide the two bird boxes for two different birds. You've got one this side and one this side. I've cut the two top and bottom holes out for the cathedral ends. So we're getting there now. But one thing at a time. And I'm only making this up as I go, as you know. All right, we'll fix this down now, and we've got to do the slanting internal roof first. So we'll have something to fix the timber to. So that's the next trick, I think. As I said, I've got no idea what I'm doing, but I'm having fun doing it. We'll fix this down, and then we'll put a couple of bits of ply on the inside, cutting around these as we go. Cutting the ply around the cathedral windows. Bring them out to the face now, then. Push that back, bring that out. There you go, that's how they're going to sit. Cutting off the peak now, but that's got to have a big hard bit of timber so I can hang it. We've finished the bones. The structure is all finished now. I've made the holes bigger so the cladding comes down over the holes, and then I'll drill a small hole so you don't see any of the plywood. All right, I've done that everywhere. So now it's time to clad. And I've got all these old fence parties now, and they're going to be everywhere. But I'm going to run them through the sander first to clean them up just a little bit. I cut them in half, because a lot of them are cupped, and they're too wide. They look out of proportion if they're too wide. So I'll cut them in half, and then I'll run them through the sander. We're going to clad all the structure now, and then we'll take it from there. One thing at a time, guys, one thing at a time. All right, just cutting the fence partings in half now. There's a whole heap of them there. Doesn't matter if they're a bit grungy. And putting them through the sander. I didn't sand that much of them, just cleaned them up a bit. See, they've still got a bit of grunge on them, which is what I want. And then putting them through again. You do that with a regular sander too. I've cut them to length, and now I'm just pinning them on, bit of glue, and just pinning them on as I go. Make sure they're level at the top then, and pinning them on with my 23 gauge pin gun. You can hardly see the pins. Pinning on the cathedral window, and I re-drew the hole after. I've got the cathedral ends done. Look at that. Coming up quite nice, isn't it? After I put these fence partings through the sander, I planed them down on the reverse side so they're a bit thinner, so to about 10 mil. Saving a bit of weight too. I've marked out for the holes that need to be drilled into the partings now. So it's coming out quite well, isn't it? And the next trick is to do the two bottoms, so I'll do them next. Made the timber run horizontal on the bottom, just for a bit of difference. I've got it all covered in the fence partings now. Looking very, very rustic. And I've got all the holes marked out again. So I've got to drill them now. So they're smaller than the holes that are in the plywood, so you don't see the plywood after I drill them. So I'll do that next, and then we're going to start trimming it up. With all the window frames, all the little nooks and crannies, with the timber called red gum. These are red gum fence posts. So we've got the partings on the fence and the posts. We're doing a bit for the environment, guys. We're using old timber. Okay, we'll drill the holes now, and then we'll decide how we're going to do all the architraves and doors, the windows, and the perches, and all that sort of stuff. But they're all just add-ons now. As I said, after you got the plywood bones of anything, and everything is just an add-on. So now we're going to add on the perches and everything else. All right, just drilling now in the cathedral windows. Small hole that I normally drill. Another glorious day in the shed, as I say. Bloody cold in Melbourne today though, that's why I've got a jacket on. I've got some old fence posts here, which I'm going to rip up for the architraves and for the window surrounds of the birdhouse. So, but it's very heavy and very gnarly, so it's going to be very hard to rip. But I'll get through it. We'll button them up and put them through the thicknesser just to clean them up, and then we'll rip them into strips of about, I don't know, ½ inch, about 10 mil thick, and then we'll take it from there. As I said, I'll make these things up on the go. So we need window surrounds and window sills. Alright, just putting it over the buzzer now. Buzzing the top and the bottom. And through the thicknesser it goes, just to clean it up. It's a great looking red timber, that, isn't it? Red gum. And cutting it on the saw now into strips. And you see I don't cut, but it's very thick. I only cut half at a time and turn it over and cut the other half. But I'll be putting it through the thicknesser or planer again. So just to take a bit of the pressure off the saw blade. I am doing a sketchy thing, cutting the very long angle on the cathedral windows. I should have cramped these, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. I would say to cramp them. Just gluing them on now. I cut a curve in them and gluing and pinning them on. An unusual shape. All done. One done, one to go. We've got the dormer windows all framed up now. Come on, great, look at that. Very nice. One on each side. So now we've got to work on the 4 front ones, which will be more of a flatter version of the dormer. But I don't want them sticking out too far. So we'll just make up something. I got no idea. I just made the dormer windows up as I went. I had no idea how they were going to turn out, what I was going to do for a perch. I had no idea. But they come out great. They come out good. Work on the front and back now. Do those 4. And then we'll work on the ridge capping on top. Got the smaller version of the eyebrow on top there. We're done, except for the polishing. Look at that. The Gothic birdhouse. It's one of a kind, guys. It is one of a kind. What I tried to do with all the trimmings is I tried to make unusual shapes. Like this shape there, that one there, the slanting roof here, a different one up there. I just wanted it to be interesting. We'll give it a couple of coats of polish now, and we'll see how it comes up. Just spraying it up now. My furniture lacquer. Look at the colour of the red gum. It comes out great, doesn't it? Nice bright red. Very nice. Here it is, I'll spray outside. We're finished. Look at this, had a couple of coats of polish on it now. The Gothic birdhouse. Even Jocko, the cocky, likes it. Hey Jocko, what do you say? Okay, the Gothic birdhouse, guys. What an epic build this is. A bit bloody heavy too, by the way. So you need a strong branch to hold it up. But it's come up great. Just had a fence partings and an old fence post and a bit of ply. Who thought, guys? Who thought? Alright guys, thanks for being with me today. And please join me next time where I probably will be making another birdhouse or a box. It'll be something small and unusual. See you guys.